Hi and welcome. In today's tutorial I'm going to show you how to make this rectangular granny square with a little magic in between some of the rounds. I have previously done some videos on how to do it as a square and also on how to do it on rows, but I've been getting some questions about how to turn this into a rectangular project, so that is what we're going to do today. A little bit about the pattern. We're going to work 3 rounds of regular granny square clusters, and then on the 4th round we're going to add this white round where we're going to do some front post trebles. Then we're going to work 2 rounds and then again a magic round, and you can continue with this for as long as you want and make this project however big you like it to be. You can of course choose any kind of color you like and any kind of material. We're going to start with a foundation chain, and then we're going to work all the way around it to create the square, and then we will work in rounds. Your foundation chain have to be a multiple of 3, and it has to be an odd number, otherwise the pattern won't really work. I think the least amount of chains you can make is 9 or 10, and it depends on whether or not you're going to use 2 chains for your first double crochet or you're going to use 3. Let's say you're going to use 2 chains, then we are going to do 9 chains, and if we do 9 chains, that will give us this on the first row, 1 cluster on the side and 3 clusters on the top and bottom. If you add 6 to that number, you'll get 5 on the first round and so on. And you need to have an uneven or an odd number on your first round, because that will give us an even number, odd number, and then we have an even number when we're going to do the magic, and that is kind of important that we have that. If you're going to use 3 chains as your double crochet, it depends a little bit on your tightness when you crochet and create your foundation chain. You're just going to add 1 extra. So for 2 chains that will be 9, 15, 21, 27 and so on. And for 3 chains it will be 10, 16, 22, 28 and so on. I think I will do 3 chains for my double crochet. And I think for this first one, this is the smallest one you can make. And for this one, I did 10 chains. So I think we'll go ahead and do 16. So I'm just going, I have a slip knot on my hook, and I'm just going to chain 16. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Now I have 16 chains, and the first 3 chains will be my double crochet. So I'm going to go into my 4th chain, so it's this one down here, and in there I'm going to put first 2 double crochets. That was 2, so that creates our first cluster. I'm going to chain 1 and put in 3 more double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to chain 1 and 1 more time, 3 double crochets. And then this creates our 2 first corners. Like that. And then we're going to go along the chain. And if you have a little difficulties up here measuring exactly how many chains you have, because they will sit a little bit on top of each other, you can just go backwards, and this means that we have 1 and 2 chains here, and then we're moving into the 3rd chain. Whoop. And in there we're also going to put in a cluster, so 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Whoop. Then we're going to skip 2 chains again, We're not going to crochet anything, no chains in between, just skip 2 chains, yarn over, and go in and put in a cluster of 3 double crochets. 1, whoop, 2, and 3. One more time. And then we are almost at the end of this row. 2 and 3. Then we have 3 chains left. I'm going to skip 2 and work in the last one. And in there we're going to do the same thing as we did on the other end. So we're going to put in 1 cluster of 3 double crochets, chain 1, 1 cluster, chain 1, 1 cluster. You can always experiment a little bit with how you do your chain. If you're going to, if you think you're crocheting too loosely, you can go down a hook size. If it's too big, if the chains are too small, sorry, you can go up 1 hook size or 2 if you need to. It doesn't really matter. It is a little bit about, finding your own way with this one. But as soon as this round is done, it's very, very straightforward, and it's just like making a square. So I think we have what we need. Cluster, chain 1, cluster, chain 1, cluster. Then we're going back on the opposite side. We're just going to use the same spots that we did for the top of this round. So put in 3 double crochets in each and no chains in between. That will change on the next round, but I find that for the foundation it works the best with no chains. But of course, if you feel like it, you can go ahead and chain 2 between the clusters on the corners, and you can go ahead and chain 1 between your clusters on the first round. So this is the last one. We have worked our way all the way around. So last one, and then I'm just going to find our top chain over here. So either your third or your second chain, depending on how many you calculated for. And that completes the setup round. So we have 1 cluster here out on the sides, and we have this one, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on each side. So now we're ready for round number 2, and I've done a color change, just putting a slip knot onto my hook. And I like to start in a corner up here, so this one up here. I'm going to do the standing stitch, so I'm just going to yarn over, press my finger down on the yarn, go into the corner, grab the yarn, come up, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, go through 2, and yarn over and go through 2. So this is our first double crochet. You can attach the yarn any way you like and do a chain 3 if you prefer that. Here in the corner, we're going to put in 3 double crochets. And then we're going to chain 2 because it's a corner. 1, 2. And then we go back into the same stitch and put in another 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to chain 1 to get over to the next corner. And the chain 1 is kind of important for this project. If you're just doing a regular rectangular granny square, you don't have to do it if you don't like that. If you want it to be a little more tight. So this is also a corner, so chain 2 and 1 more cluster. But for this project, we kind of need the chain 1 in between the clusters for the magic round to work. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm just going to put in a cluster between the clusters from the previous round, and I forgot to chain one, so let's do that. Chain one between the clusters, and I'll chain two in the corners. And now I'm almost done with this round. I'm just going to chain one, and then I'm going in on my first stitch and slip stitching. And that's the cool thing about the standing stitch. It gives a really nice top stitch that you can fasten off into, slip stitch into. I'm just going to fasten off, and I'm going to do a color change for the third round. As you can see, everything is turning out very nicely. I'll bring in this green color and attach it in a corner. And the third round will just be a simple repeat of round number 2. So 3 double crochets in the corner, chain 2, 3 double crochets, chain 1, and move into the next one and put in 3 double crochets. So I'm done with my third round. Just going to fasten off. And now we can get started on the magic. You can of course go ahead and use some of the same colors that you have or already have in your project. You can also go ahead and use a contrast color. So I think for this one, we'll go back to the pink one because that gives, I think that gives kind of a cool effect. Again, for the other one I made, I did it in white, so it's creating more of a contrast. And I also started it with the white round just because I think that looks very cool. But that is of course up to you. So the most important thing right now is that out on the short side we have 3 clusters, and up here we have 7 clusters. We need it to be an odd number, otherwise it won't work. But I think let's start with the pink one, and let's just go up and start in the corner up here. I'm going to attach with the single crochet because we're going to do a lot of single crochets. In the corner, I just have a slip knot on my hook. I'm just going into the corner, and I'm just creating the single crochet like that. But you can go ahead and do that any way you like. For each corner, we're going to have a single crochet, chain 2, and a single crochet, and that creates a new corner. We're going to work in that corner on the next round. Okay, for the first 3 top stitches, we're going to put in 1 single crochet in each. So you're going to have 3 single crochets and then the one in the corner, 2 and 3. And then we're going to do this magical X over this green block, and we're going to grab the purple ones down here. So first we're going from up here and down here. So we're going to do a treble. So we're yarning over 2 times. And we're going to go down and do a front post on the purple one. So we take the hook and we go in from the front to the back to the front. Grab the yarn, yarn over, come back up. You now have 4 loops on your hook. And just yarn over and go through 2. Yarn over, go through 2, and yarn over and go through 2. This is our first treble, and to fixate it we're going to go back up here, and we have our 3 top stitches sitting up here, and we're going to put in 1 single crochet in each. So 1 and 2 and 3. Then we're going to create the other part of the X, so yarn over 2 times for a treble. Go down to your purple one, come from right to left, from front to the front, grabbing the yarn coming up, be on the right side, 4 loops on the hook, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, and go through 2, and yarn over, go through 2. And then we can fixate this one by going up, finding our 3 top stitches up here, and putting in 1 single crochet in each, 2, and 3. And that is just going to be repeated all the way around. So I'm just going to continue. I think I will work my way over to the corner and just show you how the corner is done now that now that it's not the beginning. So I'm at the corner, and let's just do that really fast. So you have your 3 top stitches, 1 single crochet in each corner, 1 single crochet, chain 2, and 1 single crochet. And then on this small side we have room for 1 X. So again, start with 3 single crochets, 2 and 3, yarn over 2 times, go down, make your front post treble on the purple one or 2 rows below. And again, 1 single crochet in each of the top stitches, yarn over 2 times, go down on the opposite one, do your front post treble, and then you're at a corner again. Just work your way around the corner as we just did, and you can continue doing this all the way around. I will do that, and then I will just really quickly show you how you start your next round, because you don't have your chains anymore. So I worked my way all the way around, and I'm going to end this round. I just need 1 more single crochet, and then I'm just going to slip stitch into that first single crochet that I did. And then I'm going back to a different color again. Let me show you real quick how we start this round. This next round, let's just move over here because I don't have all the yarn tails. We're going to go back to double crochets again. So attach your new yarn again any way you like, anywhere you like, pretty much. So we do have this little corner up here with the chain 2. So I'm just going to go in there and do my first double crochet. So again, chain 3, do stack stitches, do a standing stitch, however you prefer it. And in there we're going to put 3 double crochets, and we're going to chain 2 and another 3 double crochets. And that might be a little tight because the corner is not very big, but it kind of straightens out the project a little bit again, because this round of single crochets can make it a little bit uneven. So I don't recommend that you end your project on a magic round. I think it's better to do another, if you don't want any more double crochet rounds, just end it with 1 more round of single crochets to kind of fixate it a little bit more again. So this is the first corner. Just going to do that in all the corners, and then we are going to chain 1 and skip 4 single crochets. And we have 4 because we have 3 in the top stitches and we have the 1 in the corner. So we're going to go over, and it's kind of obvious because we're going to crochet in the trebles from the round below, and they do stick out a little bit. So in there we're going to put 3 double crochets, chain 1, skip 3 single crochets, move into the next top treble. If you have a hard time finding it, you can of course also, when you do your treble on the previous round, mark them out. Whenever you have done one, mark out the top stitch if you want to. And that is how this goes. You need to do 2 more rounds, so this one and 1 more, before you can start doing the magic round again. Let me show you on the sample. So again, we have 3 rounds and then our magic, and then you need 2 rounds, and then you can start adding magic again. And then I have 2 rounds here, so I could do a round of magic now, because we do need to work over a round, and we need to have a round where we can grab onto. So that is why we need 2. And again, we need 3 in the beginning because we need the uneven number out. And you could go ahead and say, okay, but then I'll just chain 4 down here and I'll end up with an uneven round. But that will not give you the right number out here. So that is why. That was all for today. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. And if you have any questions or comments, just leave them below. I would love to hear what kind of project you're making with this kind of pattern. Thank you for watching, and thank you for today.